Mike Tyson's disappointment was impossible to miss for anyone who watched his fight against Jake Paul. As the match ended, you could see the shock and frustration on Tyson's face. The adrenaline of the fight had worn off, leaving him to face a harsh reality. The once legendary boxing icon had lost to Jake Paul, a YouTuber turned boxer. This was a result no one could have predicted. The idea of a defeat like this, especially in such a high-profile and controversial fight, seemed to strike Tyson deeply, far beyond what anyone expected. For Tyson, the thought of this loss staining his record was painful. This wasn't just another fight, it was a moment the world was watching. As the dust settled, his disappointment quickly transformed into something stronger, anger. He was furious, not just at himself but at Jake Paul, Netflix, and anyone else involved in what Tyson came to believe was a rigged match. Tyson wasn't going to stay silent. Barely a day after the fight, he started speaking out against what he saw as a scripted spectacle. The fight had received massive media coverage, with promoters hyping it as a historic clash between two boxing figures, one a seasoned legend, the other a social media star making waves in the sport. But Tyson, a man known for his fierce competitiveness and unmatched career, wasn't going to let this result slide. Soon after the fight, rumors of foul play began swirling. Many fans and analysts questioned how Jake Paul could have earned such a dominant unanimous decision victory. The judges' scores 8-0-7-2, 7-9-7-3, and 79-73 all favored Paul. This left fans scratching their heads, especially since Tyson had appeared to be the stronger fighter during parts of the match. In the early rounds, Tyson had moments that reminded everyone of his prime. He landed solid punches and gave fans a glimmer of hope that he might turn back the clock and pull off one of his signature knockouts. But it didn't take long for reality to set in. Tyson, who had recently recovered from a serious health scare, was visibly not at his physical peak. As the rounds progressed, his energy faded, and he struggled to connect with meaningful shots. By the end of the fight, Tyson had landed just 18 punches, a number that starkly contrasted with his early aggression. Jake Paul, on the other hand, added another victory to his unique boxing career, improving his record to 1-1-1. The fight attracted an estimated 108 million viewers, making it one of the most watched sporting events in recent history. For Tyson, though, it wasn't just a loss in the ring, it felt like a blow to his legacy. As the controversy surrounding the fight grew, fans began pointing out strange moments. Some noticed instances where it seemed Tyson had the opportunity to go after Paul but held back. These observations led to suspicions that Tyson wasn't fighting at full strength on purpose. One of the voices adding fuel to this fire was Sarah Bailey, the WBA World Lightweight Champion. Speaking to E! News, she claimed that the fight had been fixed to ensure Paul's victory. Her statement gave even more weight to the conspiracy theories already circulating. Tyson's frustration continued to boil over as he began to openly accuse Jake Paul and the fight's promoters of staging the bout. Jake Paul himself didn't help calm the situation. In an interview, Paul admitted he didn't go for a knockout, saying, "I didn't want to hurt someone who didn't need to be hurt." These words raised eyebrows. Was Paul being sincere about showing restraint, or was there more to the story? For many fans, his comments seemed to suggest there might have been an agreement to avoid a knockout, especially since Paul is known for his aggressive fighting style but appeared unusually cautious in this match. Former Dallas Cowboys star Irvin had his own theory. Irvin suggested Tyson may have been restricted by his contract, which possibly prohibited him from throwing his famous uppercut. He questioned why Tyson, a fighter known for his devastating uppercuts, didn't use one during the fight. "I was waiting for that patented uppercut, but we didn't see it not even once," Irvin said. He found it hard to believe Tyson would hold back voluntarily when the opportunity to land a fight-ending punch was there. Colin Cowherd, a popular sports analyst, also weighed in. He speculated that Jake Paul might have avoided going for a knockout out of respect for Tyson, or possibly because of an agreement. Cowherd said, "By the fifth round, Jake Paul had a chance to knock Tyson out. Maybe he held back to avoid humiliating a legend like Tyson." While some fans dismissed this idea, others believed it fit with the strange nature of the fight. For Tyson, the fight wasn't just about winning or losing. It was supposed to be a moment to prove that, even at his age, he could still compete at a high level. But instead, he found himself at the center of swirling conspiracy theories. Rumors that Tyson's contract may have included restrictions like banning his uppercut only added to the drama. Jake Paul, however, was no stranger to controversy. Throughout his boxing career, he had faced accusations of rigged fights. His knockouts against Tyron Woodley and Ben Askren had sparked similar rumors. On his brother Logan Paul's podcast, Jake defended himself against the latest claims, saying, "You don't realize my speed, my power, and my footwork. Tyson couldn't land punches because I was too fast and skilled." For Paul, these conspiracy theories were nothing more than attempts to undermine his achievements. Meanwhile, DJ Who Kid, a legendary mixtape DJ, shared his own perspective. Who Kid suggested the fight had been carefully staged to protect both fighters from serious injury. According to him, if Tyson had truly landed one of his iconic punches, Jake Paul wouldn't have stood a chance and vice versa. Radio personality Ebro Darden pointed out moments that seemed suspicious. He highlighted a specific instance where Paul appeared to whisper something to Tyson and wrap him up against the ropes. Darden believed this was evidence that the fight had been orchestrated. Even popular streamer Aya Showspeed joined the debate. He criticized Jake Paul's boxing skills, calling his defense weak. Speed even claimed he could knock out Paul himself if given the chance, adding another layer to the ongoing drama. MMA heavyweight champion Francis Ngannou also shared his disbelief. Ngannou, known as one of the hardest hitters in combat sports, couldn't believe Tyson had lost to someone with far less experience. For Ngannou, the fight was another example of how celebrity boxing had become more about spectacle than skill. For Tyson, this fight was supposed to be a chance to remind the world of his greatness. Instead, he walked away with questions about the legitimacy of the fight and a blow to his legacy. As for Jake Paul, he may have won on paper, but the doubts and conspiracy theories surrounding his victory only continued to grow.